Rebecca's Only Way. Many years ago, after the First World War, there were many, many boys and girls in many countries of the world who were orphans. That is, they had no fathers and mothers. They were gathered together in large houses called orphan homes, where they had comfortable beds to sleep in and kind people to look after them. Well, in a certain little town in our great country, there was a little 6-year-old orphan girl named Rebecca who lived in a nice orphan home called St. Luke's with 62 other little orphan girls. Rebecca loved every one of them, but her very dearest playmate was Sarah Mary. One day all the girls came running out into the sunshine for an hour's playtime, and "I know something," sang Sarah Mary. The thin blue line wound evenly through the corridor and out of the big doors, just out, no farther. At the first whiff of the blessed freedom of out of doors, the line broke into 63 pieces, every piece a little free blue orphan. The silence broke too into 63 shouts. For an hour, the 63 little lone ones would forget that they were lone and be joyous little players in the sun. In a corner, Rebecca and Sarah Mary had their playhouse. They were partners. "I know something," sang Sarah Mary, bursting with the joy of what she knew. "About Christmas there's going to be dolls. A trustee said it. Dolls, she said just like that." "Oh," breathed Rebecca, "but I don't suppose she said one apiece." "She did. She said every orphan, and that's one apiece. An old lady left some money because once she wanted a doll and didn't anybody know it. And guess who's to dress them?" "Oh, I can't wait to guess." Sarah Mary edged closer. "A live dressmaker." "A live what?" There was actual awe in Rebecca's voice. "Dressmaker, in pieces all silk and satin and trimmings." Rebecca sat very still. She felt that beautiful Christmas doll warm against her little mother breast. If she rocked gently like this and sang a soft hush baby, her baby would go to sleep in its silky satin little dress. Sarah Mary was chattering on. "I was helping Ellen carry the lemonade in for the trustees. Somebody said, 'Shh, little pitchers.' That was me. They were afraid I'd hear, and I did. The dressmaker is a relation to the person that wanted a doll once, and she said the dressmaker she'd make the dresses for her part. Don't you hope yours will be sky blue, Rebecca?" "Oh, yes, sky blue," thrilled Rebecca. "Though red would be lovely, or gold yellow, or green. If she didn't have any color dress, I'd love her," Rebecca thought, rocking her darling to be in the tender cradle of her arms. For 10 days Rebecca thought of the Christmas doll by day and dreamed of it by night. A dozen times she named it. Sweet, love, delight, joy, a dozen beautiful names. The 10th day she settled on Joy, her little silk child Joy. The 11th day Rebecca saw the picture. It seemed to start up out of all her happy dreamings and dangle before her eyes. "Look, look at me! Look at my dreadful little orphans!" And Rebecca looked with shocked and horror-struck eyes. The picture stayed right there, dangling. Nights, too, she could see it. A visitor to the home had brought the paper and read to the children about the hungry orphans across the sea in Europe who were glad for just one meal a day. How contented then, the visitor had said, out these orphans at the St. Luke home to be with their breakfast and dinners and suppers. When she went away, she left the paper, and in the paper Rebecca saw the picture. A score of thin, sad little faces looked out at her, such hungry faces. One smiled a little, and the smiling, hungry face hurt most. "They are orphans, too. I'm kind of a relation to them," thought Rebecca. "But I'm never hungry. Oh, never." She could not feel herself that kind of relation. One night she went without her supper and lay in the dark on her cot in the row of little cots, trying how it felt to be hungry. If she hadn't had that apple between meals, probably the Europe orphans never had apples between. Perhaps if she didn't eat any breakfast tomorrow, but at breakfast Rebecca ate her bowl of cereal eagerly. She could hardly wait for the breakfast bell. It was terrible to be hungry. That night Rebecca dreamed of her Christmas doll, but it was made of bread, a bread child that she rocked in her arms. And a score of sad little children stood around her as she rocked, and the smiling one broke Rebecca's heart so that in the dream she held her joy child out to her and said, "You may eat her, my beautiful child." The picture first, and then the plan. Rebecca made that plan with sweat and little soul. It was such a bitter, hard plan to make. There was so little time left. Anxiously she watched her chance, but it was 2 days before Christmas before it came. She was sent downtown on an errand that as a special favor given permission to look in the windows. That meant she need not hurry. She could do her own errands too. She was a little scared. It wouldn't be exactly easy. A great automobile stood before a toy shop and a lady was preparing to alight. She was going in to buy a doll for her little girl. Rebecca read it all instantly, for she was Rebecca. Wait! Oh, if you'd only just as soon wait. I've got one to sell. I mean a doll for your little girl, with a silk dress that a real life dressmaker made. If you'd just as soon buy mine. The small earnest face gazed upward into the surprised face of the lady. There was no doubting the child's seriousness of purpose, however wild her words sounded. The lady was interested. "May I see it, the dolly you have to sell?" she said smilingly. A faint pink color surged into Rebecca's cheeks and deepened to red. "I haven't got her yet. You'll have to trust me to deliver her Christmas, if you'd only as soon trust me," cried Rebecca. "My dear, suppose you come up here into the car and sit down beside me and tell me all about it." "Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am, I will. It won't start, will it, while I'm getting in? I never was in one before." On the broad soft seat, Rebecca drew a long breath. Then quite simply she explained the plan. "So I've got to get some money to buy bread," she concluded wistfully. "Do you think a doll would buy quite a lot? A silk doll that a dressmaker dressed? If you was going to buy your little girl a silk doll, would you think $1'd be a great deal to pay?" Oh, $1 was a great deal, but a great deal of bread was needed, and bread had gone up, the matron said so. Rebecca set her lips firmly. "I've got to ask a great deal for my I mean doll. And I'm going to sell my orange and stocking no candy too. We always have those at St. Luke's Christmas." The lady's eyes, gazing backward through the years, were seeing the crumpled pink face of the little girl who had not lived long enough for dolls of Christmas candies. "My dear," the lady said gently, "I will buy your dolly. Here is the dollar. Now shall I drive you to St. Luke's? You are from St. Luke's Orphanage, aren't you?" "Yes, I'm a St. Luke orphan, and I like to be driven, thank you, but I've got two places to stop at first." "We will stop. Tell us where. You may start now, James." To Rebecca, the St. Luke orphan, that ride was a thrilling adventure, so thrilling that she forgot her two stopping places entirely, and the big car had to turn about and retrace its swift, glorious way. "Are you afraid? Shall I ask James to go slower?" "Oh, don't. I mean, please don't ask James." Rebecca's cheeks were scarlet, her eyes like stars. "I love to fly this way." Rebecca craned an eager neck and shouted to the lady above the whir of the car and her whirring little heart. "Do you suppose James would drive clear up?" "Yes, ma'am, to St. Luke's door so they could see me, especially Sarah Mary. If James would just as soon." "James would just as soon," the lady said with a smile. The fruitsman was the first stop. Rebecca stepped down carefully and stated her amazing errand to him with perfect simplicity. "Will you buy an orange?" she said clearly. "It will be a nice orange, I think. I'll deliver it Christmas morning, but if you just as soon pay for it now." Over Rebecca's head the foreigner's eye caught that of the lady of the automobile, and some messages appeared to travel to him across the short space over Rebecca's head. It was as if the lady of the automobile said to him, "Buy the orange, I will make it all right." She seemed a rich lady, and the automobile was very grand and big, and the risk was very small. "If it is not too much a price," the man said gravely. "Oh, just a loaf of bread." Rebecca stammered nervously. "Could you pay as much as that? I need the bread. I mean, they need." Was the lady of the automobile holding up 10 fingers? The man went into his little store and came back. Into Rebecca's hand he dropped 2 nickels, and Rebecca never knew that the lady dropped two into his. "He was a nice fruitman," Rebecca said, and added shyly, "and you were very nice. I'm glad everybody's nice. I kind of dreaded it. I never expected to have a beautiful time." She jingled her money joyously. "It must be quite a lot of bread. It makes so much noise," she laughed.